Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for this interview and welcome to Kazakhstan as well.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Let's start with the first question. In your opinion, what drove Kazakhstan's high ICAO safety compliance?
Well, let me say that Kazakhstan has made an incredible progress in terms of safety and security compliance in last years. But more in general, Kazakhstan made a huge progress in terms of civil aviation development, because it's not just an issue of implementation of standards, it's an issue of how the organization is better prepared to implement the standards. And in the last 5 or 6 years, Kazakhstan undertaken a new policy reorganizing the civil aviation mechanism, reorganizing and appointing staff, appointing many young staff, professionals that are supporting the implementation of standards. Currently, Kazakhstan has an excellent level of safety implementation. In our audits resulted to be above the global average. That is a good achievement. Of course, there is always a need to implement and to progress, to improve. But the current performances in terms of safety implementation and also security implementation are very, very good.
Moving on from that and building on to that point, will policies help Kazakhstan become a key transport gateway not only locally, regionally, but globally?
That's a very good question. First of all, aviation is by definition global. Connectivity by definition is global. So you need a country, first of all, that has strong infrastructures in order to promote air transport. But at the same time, there is a need of good policies in order to open the market to have access to air transport. Kazakhstan has adopted what is called the liberalization of open skies policy. Is a policy that gives access, easy access to air transport in Kazakhstan by foreign airlines. At the same time, the national airline Air is growing and is developing very, very well. Additionally, let me say that the geographic position of Kazakhstan, middle between Europe and Asia Pacific, is a good opportunity for development of transport. So in this sense, there are the basis for a good development of the civil aviation of Kazakhstan here, regionally, and globally. What is important is to continue to implement the high-level standards, of course, to support the development of infrastructures, and to be leader in globally in international aviation, being engaged with the states, with promoting, for example, the access of next generation of aviation professionals.
Aside from those policies, we have to also discuss ICAO programs. Which ones, in your opinion, help to address the shortage of professionals in the field, and also what ways there are for young Kazakh professionals to get into and become part of ICAO?
Well, we have to recognize, first of all, that the growth rate of aviation will bring from the current 4.6 billion passengers per year to approximately 12.6 billion passengers per year in 2050, meaning approximately 3 times the traffic that is today. In order to support this growth traffic, there is a need of new professionals. There is a need to fill positions that will become more and more available. To do so, contrary to the past, where aviation was attractive of young people, aviation now has to create more attention to the young generations. This is why we have a program called Next Generation Aviation Professionals. It's a program that has the objective to promote initiatives at the state level or the regional level in order to address young people at the school level in order to create interest, to understand better what are the opportunities to work in aviation and what are the best possibilities. Just next month we will have a summit in Durban, in South Africa, that will address at a global level this initiative, and then we'll have a conclusion of a call for action that will be submitted to the ICAO Assembly in September, October this year. Opportunities to join ICAO. Opportunities are several, but there are several ways to join ICAO. Of course, there are the so-called vacancy notices where everyone can apply. But there are other opportunities through the Civil Aviation Administration of Kazakhstan that are internships, secondments, opportunities to work for a limited time frame, but providing a contribution to the work of ICAO, but learning from a global perspective, working in Montreal or in the regional office in Paris.
We also have to discuss your current visit. What are the achievements of this visit, and how do you see our cooperation with Kazakhstan going forward?
Well, just to give an example, this morning during the meeting with the Minister of Transport, we signed a design project on the civil aviation master plan of Kazakhstan. It's just an indication how the relationship between Kazakhstan and ICAO can deliver some outstanding and positive products. So the relationship between ICAO at the regional level with the regional office in Paris or the central level with the headquarters in Montreal are already well established. We have other programs and other initiatives of cooperation together. Very recently, Kazakhstan has established in Montreal a permanent delegation. It's a good sign of engagement of Kazakhstan in the work of ICAO. So what I see is that there is already a good framework of relationship and cooperation, and given the strong commitment of the leaders of Kazakhstan, we can see only how to improve this. But I'm very, very much satisfied that the opportunity that I had today, meeting the President of the Republic, the Prime Minister, the Minister of Transport, has been all confirming that there is a strong commitment of Kazakhstan, and of course I confirmed the commitment of ICAO to support Kazakhstan in the development more and more air transport. I want to just to stress once more that the progress of civil aviation of Kazakhstan is a model for the region. This is a region that has been suffering in the past, let's say, some marginal role in aviation between Europe, that has been, let's say, a mature market, and Asia Pacific, that was a developing market. Kazakhstan, with the other countries of the regions, has been in the past very, very marginal. What we see in the future is that the traffic is moving from the mature markets towards the developing countries. When I say that there will be a triple of traffic of passengers between now and in 2050, we have also to acknowledge that currently only 20% of the world population can travel because there is a limited accessibility or limited affordability in terms of tickets. Well, the traffic will move towards this region as other developing regions more and more. So in this sense, the air transport will become an excellent enabler for the social economic development of this region, of these countries, of this region. And Kazakhstan probably is the first that has immediately understood the opportunity and is working very hard to capture this opportunity.
How would you describe Kazakhstan's aviation currently in one word?
Fast developing and mature enough. 4 words.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. My pleasure. My pleasure.